Hello everyone and welcome back to another how-to episode, and in this one I've decided to clump up two heroes as I believe that these two heroes as a whole they function similar. They are the same, to me that is, they're the same playstyle, but they're mirrors of themselves. And of course these two heroes would be Enchantress and Chen. And of course, if you're new and you don't know what's going on, this is a Dota 2 guide series. Well, it's a guide series, but this episode is covering a Dota 2 aspects. And the heroes I'll be covering are Chen and Enchantress. And the reason why I say these two heroes function similarly, and that's because mostly when they're in the jungle, you usually dominate the biggest creep in the jungle and use those creeps to jungle effectively, kill off other creeps, get gold in the jungle with dominating creeps and killing the rest, and then you use these creeps to smoke up and gank the other lanes in your team. And so these two heroes are junglers slash gankers, just as a general aspect of their characteristics. But then if you look at their skill sets, Chen is more of a defensive type. Like, if I were to rate who's more defensive and who's more aggressive, I would say if I were to take both characters at level 6, Chen is the more defensive hero, just because of his skill set. He's got some nukes to either initiate with killing the opposition, or in trying to harass the opposition away from your heroes. He's got a nuke to do that. Also, he's got a ability to send an ally back to fountain to save the ally. And his ultimate is a global heal, and this is partnered up with of course the ability to dominate a creep. Also, that's another ability. And Enchantress, on the other hand, has got one ability that slows any incoming right-click attacks by a certain percentage, and she's got a heal, and she's got an ability to dominate a creep or slow an opponent, and also her ultimate, which is an attack orb modifier that deals bonus pure damage based on the distance between the target hit and Enchantress. So the longer the distance, the more the pure damage is that bonus is. So I'd outclass as the more aggressive one. You can play more aggressively, chasing kills and trying to make the ganks work. But Chen does function the same way too. But generally, this video will just be covering just what I think you need to practice to do in the jungle. I'm not actually showing you how to jungle these heroes, as I think that is the simple part on how to do these heroes, but I'm just trying to tell you the things you should do, because I've noticed that most of the time in most pub games, some people, and I've fallen into this trap myself, most people just AFK and farm with these heroes, since farming in the jungle with these two heroes is very easy. They farm up a quick Midas, they farm up a quick mech, they farm up their core items, and they come out to fight. But this ends up happening maybe 10 minutes into the game or 15 minutes into the game, when they now join their team and start fighting because they had been farming all this time because it's so easy. But I don't think, personally I don't think, I've learned to not think that that's the way to do it. Instead, these heroes are so strong early because of the ability to dominate creeps and their movesets, that as soon as maybe you get your level 2, you get two good creeps with Enchantress, or maybe with Chen you get a good creep and a level in Test of Faith, you should instantly coordinate with your supports or coordinate with your mid heroes, smoke up and go for a gank. Because as much as you may be able to farm, if you keep on securing kills with good smoke ganks, you're not only giving yourself farm and gold and experience, you're also going to give your carry some gold and experience, and you're going to give your supports some experience that they desperately need. So that's what I'm gonna try show to you guys in these two videos. Well, these are not actual gameplay videos, it's still just lobby guide videos, so I'm just gonna explain a few things you should do as these two heroes. So on one hand, we're gonna be looking at Enchantress, and keep in mind that Dota is a situational game. What I may tell you may not work in certain situations and it might work in others. So this is not the be-all end-all on how to use Chen and Enchantress in the jungle. But I'm just assuming that someone has already bought you a courier, and with all your gold, I would advise you to buy Observer wards, Sentry wards, Smoke of Deceit, a Tangle, and a Clarity. Enchantress is so good in the jungle that she can sustain herself really. If you play careful enough, you won't even need the regen, maybe only need the extra clarity potion to sustain the mana usage of dominating more creeps, because really you don't have nukes to cast similar to Chen, because most of the nukes you'll be using are the nukes that your creeps already have. Now you may be asking, why am I buying the observers and the sentries? And like I said, Enchantress is very good at sustaining herself in the jungle, so getting any more regen than what is here is sometimes going to be a waste if no one plays up aggressively on you. So now instead you could help your supports by purchasing all the things they would supposedly purchase, being the observers and the sentries, and therefore giving them extra gold to buy either regen or some stat items that would help them babysit the carry more effectively. So as soon as you get into the forest, what you would want to do is set up wards. I guess I will do a video on just some wards, some good wards in placing, and how to deward these good wards, and some other obscure ward places that just need to be discussed on. I will do a video on that most definitely, as I think that is an interesting aspect to do. So when you ward up with the observers, you may be wondering, what's the point of getting sentries as well? Like, do I need those? And yes, I dare say it's a must to get sentries. I would rather go into a game having bought sentries but never use them than to not buy sentries at all as Enchantress. And the reason being is, when they ward your camps, jungling is gonna be that much slower. You'll have access to only a few camps that, for example, you won't have, and really that's not good. That's not good at all. And so you use the sentries to deward their wards and help your team gain vision. And as you may be seeing here, for example, as soon as you get one big creep, you get ready. Now you have to position yourself, get another big creep. Maybe you've now got two big creeps now. You can keep on jungling. Like I said, right now I'm not actually showing how to jungle the hero. If you want to see me jungling the hero like effectively, then I can do a farm hard stacking with creeps, stacking and pulling for yourself, and stacking camps and killing camps with tornadoes and stuff like that, if you want to see a farm intensive jungle guide. But this is just me showing you the utility that you can have. So for example, here I've got two wildkins. You can set up one wildkin on the offlaner, and you can set up another wildkin on the mid lane, for example, to put harass on the offlane hero, to put harass on the supports, or to put harass on the mid hero, and make sure that they don't play up on your carries. So now if you have sentries, for example, and they've warded your small camp that you're going to be pulling, you can be dewarding that small camp, and you can deward that small camp for your supports to stack and pull. There are some certain places I think I'll ping out in this video. Like I said, I'll show you proper spots to deward. But right now I'm pinging out areas of effect of sentry wards and where you should place sentry wards to deward your stuff. So these are just general areas you would like to ward up with your sentries if a camp has been blocked. And of course you may be asking, what's the point of getting a Smoke of Deceit? The Smoke of Deceit is a really good purchase, in the sense that most of the time when you're not farming with Enchantress, you're gonna have to be ganking, and because of course you don't want to sit there idly in the bush not getting any experience or any gold. So if you're not getting any gold, if you're not getting any experience, you're gonna be dewarding camps, you're gonna be warding, and then when you're done with that, you're gonna go in straight for the gank. And that's when the Smoke of Deceit comes in. I dare say, if you're randomed Chen or Enchantress, I dare say buy two. One is never enough. But the nice thing is you can coordinate with your mid hero. He can meet up with you in your jungle, and then you smoke together and then go in for a gank on the safe lane. And that's really good, as now of course you're committing one more extra person to the gank, which means that the chances of you killing are slightly higher, because they do not have as much. You have more damage output than you would normally have, and they won't spot your mid hero with wards. They'll know he's missing, but they won't know where he is because they're both smoked up together, and that's always a good thing. Just some notes is that also in the beginning, always go to the hard camp, dominate that hard camp. Dominating the hard camp is always a good thing, as there is no restriction to which camp you can dominate, for example. So you don't, it's not like how, for example, Doombringer used to work, where Doombringer could only could only devour creep after a certain level, and only certain creeps at a time. Like now they just removed that level restriction. You can just devour the biggest creep in the jungle instantly. So it's the same. Go for the highest HP, highest damage output creeps you can with the most utility, and then you just dominate that and use that to make plays. So for example, a Centaur has about 1400 HP. If you go gank with that, it's got a stun as well and an attack speed modifier. If you go gank with that, who's gonna burst down 1400 HP early game? No one really. No one at all. But now on this other hand, we've got Chen. And again, we're going to assume that someone bought the courier for you, as you won't be able to buy everything else, including the courier. So I do the same thing with Chen. I go for the Observer Wards, the Sentry Wards, the Smoke of Deceit, the Clarity Potion, and the Tangos. And then, of course, we're going to level up Holy Persuasion, level 1, to go and dominate the biggest creep in the jungle. But one thing you need to consider with these two heroes, by the way, is that don't level up until the match starts. And the reason why I say this is because let's just say you and your team are coordinating for a first blood attempt, and you've smoked up as 5, and you're going through their jungle looking for a quick pick off of their support or their carry. If you level up Holy Persuasion, for example, then you as Chen in your team are contributing nothing besides right clicks, as the creeps won't have spawned. You'll be going for the first blood attempt before the creeps spawn, and there'll be no jungle camp to dominate. So really, you might want to level up Test of Faith or Penance or something to add to the additional damage that your team needs to secure the first blood and get the gold. And yes, it may not be good for your jungling, but at least you're helping your team get further, and that's the whole point of Chen and Enchantress, in my point of view, is to help your team push, help your team gain an early advantage, help your team in securing the jungle in terms of ward vision, help your team de-ward their team, and gain vision for your team. That's pretty much it. And then so with Chen as well, you'd like to ward up, get some vision for yourself and your mid lane. Maybe ward up one rune spot. That's a must. If you're not gonna ward up both, ward up at least one, and then you can ward up your side jungle here to see any ganks coming into the jungle or any rotations within your jungle. Or you can ward up the off lane so that the carry and the support can see the activities of the off lane and their tower. And then now when you've got vision of the rune spot, when you've got vision of the river, and you can see if the mid does decide to try gank and move into your jungle, you'll be able to spot him unless he smokes, of course. And if you put in if you place the observer ward within your jungle, you can see any movement within a certain area of your jungle. Also, you can see any movement that your off lane makes, and you can anticipate his actions, which is always good. And then after that, of course, you're supposed to dominate your creeps and start farming, but we are now just assuming that someone has warded your camps. That's when you can use your sentry wards, and then you start de-warding. And of course, if you're on the Radiant side, for example, as I'm showing in this video, you have to be careful of the Magic Bush ward. And the Magic Bush ward is is any ward that's placed by the rock to the left of the small camp. If you place it right dead center on that rock, it will block the small camp, which is bad, and it will block the hard camp. And you, for example, as a Chen, won't be able to handle that, as you need that hard camp. If you need that extra hard camp to just boost up your farm as well. And of course, your supports need the small camp to stack and pull, to do pull-throughs, to push the wave back, so that the carry can be in a safer environment to last hit and to be away from their solo. And do not do the mistake I just made here when I made this video. I dominated the smallest creep in the hard camp, but anyway, it's just to demonstrate. So you dominate the biggest creep in the hard camp, you coordinate with your safe lane supports, you coordinate with your carries, and hopefully your wave would have been pushed back. And when you initiate this gank, you come out with smoke. Hopefully you've got some disables in the team, and you yourself would have you would have dominated a creep with a decent either nuke or a disable of some sort. You go in, you sneak in from behind the bush when you're smoked up, and then you initiate the gank. If the gank is successful, you get the kill. You can now back off and give your carry space to farm, and as they have, because now they have no off lane to actually interrupt their farm, then you can go back into the jungle. It's advisable, Chen and Enchantress, to stack camps. Use your creeps to stack camps. Maybe if you need me to show it, I can show it in another video. You need your minions and yourselves to stack camps, and then you can take out camps simultaneously, 2 camps at a time, get more gold, boost your EXP, and then when there's some downtime and the mid heroes up, you can initiate a gank on their mid hero, coordinate with your mid hero, going on the mid hero, apply pressure, always be on the prowl with Chen and Enchantress. Like I said, I was also in the habit of just AFK farming because it's so easy to farm with these heroes, such that you just farm forever and you get all these items, but you're not helping your team. So that's that's pretty much all I have to say about these heroes. Yes, I may have not shown them actually jungling, because I don't think it would be fair, as they're so easy to jungle, and jungling against nothing is like, with no ganks, with no one to gank, what is not a real testament of the people. Maybe I'll show an actual live game playing them, but in general, that's what I think you need to do with Chen and Enchantress. And I hope you enjoyed listening to what I had to say. Please like, please subscribe, please leave your comments in the videos. This is a big help to me, as it will help me get more views, get more subscribers, build up a community that I can interact with, and as we grow together, we can provide more content and exchange more ideas, and generally just build a friendship together. But if you don't like and you don't subscribe and you don't view my videos, sadly that will just mean the end for me, and I'll have nothing to show for myself, and I won't have a community, and pretty much I'll be left in the lonesome. But please, if possible, just do what I've asked and help me grow my channel, and if possible, introduce my channel to your friends too, and just help me gain more people to just show my content to, because I've just been trying to grow, but it's really difficult starting up. I have to admit, I have very few subs, and by very few I mean very few subs, and I've got very few views too. So if you have some sympathy and would like to help, I would appreciate it. But thank you. This was my Chen and Enchantress how-to guide, and